We live in an area called the Zona Reina. This is an area of 83 different villages. It is completely undeveloped.
It was very important to Greg and I to clarify that we were indeed where God wanted us to be, because that is what our hearts are.
There was an extremely high level of illiteracy, and so when we got there, one of the leaders spoke to us and said, would we assist them in starting a high school for their children? Every year we focus on teaching the children the values of the school, and one of the challenges that we have is how to present the values in a different way, in a format that they can actually involve the values in their daily lives. And at this particular moment we're focused on excellence. So among some of the activities that we have currently running is what we call it a commission of excellence. It's a group of students that are actually on the honor roll that go around to the classrooms on a weekly basis and grade the classrooms on everything from presentation to the order, the neatness of their backpacks, their neatness of their notebooks. We take off points for any dirt that we find on the floor. They get extra points for creativity, for their gardens, for their uniforms. And what we're trying to promote is just that they seek excellence in everything that they do throughout their day at the school. And the whole idea of the value-based education is that these values then become sort of the foundations or the pillars on which they build the rest of the education. So one of the things that we tell the teachers is that the teaching of the values is integral to the education that they're receiving. That it's something that we don't just do on an aside, but it's something that we do every day, and we use activities, we use competitions, or whatever we can to promote that with the students, so to have them focus on it and to create enthusiasm among the student body for the different things that we're doing. So that's what we're doing right now. We have 23 teachers. 17 of those teachers are former students of the school, which have gone on to continue their studies. They're professionals, and they now work with us at the school as teachers and as co-leaders of the school. We decided in 2006 that we would start a small library. This began as a small project, and we got some assistance to build this library. It grew bigger and bigger, and eventually we've ended up with a library with about 7,000 books. They were donations for us. We've made the reading as part of the teaching that the students receive. They have to read books at all times in the year. They have to write summaries, and it's part of the education that they receive that they have to be reading. We also have books that they can use for research, encyclopedias, magazines, and so this year we've actually hired a full-time librarian. So that part has grown significantly, and it's become a very important part of the education system that we're teaching.
This has changed my life dramatically. I never planned on coming to this village to work, but when they called me here to visit last year, I felt a need to come here. There was just this peaceful feeling that I got when I first came to this area.
We have found that to understand God, we need to live it out and live it out with our students, and for them to then take this, assimilate it, and live it out as well. And we found in our own lives that if we are faithful with little, then God has then given us more to manage. And we do the same with our students. We expect them, in terms of excellence and in terms of discipline and responsibility, to be faithful with small things. So whether it be doing your homework on time, or whether it be wearing your uniform the way it should be worn, we've expected students to fulfill their word in the smallest areas. And slowly but surely, we've actually been able to see this transform the way they do things, because it's not discipline for discipline's sake, or it's not academics for academics' sake. No, it's simply learning how to practice self-control, how to practice living in the presence of God, but not simply with ideas, but in terms of reality.
All of the teachers are my favorite. I love the way they teach their classes. They all teach their classes diferente.
He likes to study here. This is the only place to study here. And he likes the values that they teach here.
We also have a chicken operation, which has been a challenge, but also a learning curve for us. It ties in with the whole idea of the sustainability of the school for the future. So with the chicken egg operation, we have 900 chickens. These are egg layers. We buy them in groups, and they lay for a time period of about 2 years. We get we're at about a 75% laying rate, which gives us around 700 eggs a day. Those eggs are sold within the village, and to be honest, the demand is much bigger than our supply. So we cannot keep up with the demand that we have. So the school has benefited from it. We're hoping in the future that as access to the village improves, that we'll be able to have a little bit bigger profit margin, and that will eventually provide salaries for future teachers in future years. We also were able to build a multi-purpose court and then cover it, and we use that not only for meetings with the parents and very importantly a recreational area. So over the years we've started up different tournaments that have become very popular in our village and for surrounding villages. We run soccer tournaments, sometimes volleyball, sometimes basketball, but by far the most popular is the indoor soccer tournament that is open to other villages. And we have around 7 or 8 different villages that come there on Sunday afternoons and have teams that represent them, and it's a good fun thing for the people of the area. Our need for computers has grown, and so at first, when we first began, we just had one computer, and that was what we used for our personal use and for the administration. But as the school grew, the need for more computers came up. This year we have a computer lab that's fully functional. We have 23 computers, but a combination of small mini laptops and also desktops with very small CPUs and low energy usage. And the reason for that is that because everything's on solar power, we don't have a grid electricity to run off, and so we have to keep the computers as economical we can in terms of energy usage. We also have 3 greenhouses that the students use every day. Every day the students work in the classrooms in the morning, and they work in agriculture in the afternoon. So they plant different crops in those greenhouses. The students are divided up into different groups per grade, and each grade is a separate cooperative, and each cooperative has different crops that they're planting that they then sell. That we're using that system to teach them about finances, about money management, to teach them about crop management and the different things it takes up to set up small businesses. One of the problems with living out in a village like this is that there is no electricity. We have 16 solar panels. There are 8 solar panels on each tracker, and they rotate with the sun. In the morning they move from the east to the west. All our lighting is actually 12-volt lighting. We use LED lighting, which is very low wattage, and it serves us very well in the evenings when we need light, but that's that's direct 12-volt. And then all the other outlets are all 110, and that's a manual thing that we put on when we need it, and at night we turn it off. And so we demand a very high standard from the people that work with us, that they live exemplary lives, not only in the school, but outside the school, in their families. Over the years, we've had numerous students continue their studies. Currently, we have a number of them, at least one of them studying at university outside the country, a number of them inside the country, and then we also have the university extension at the village. The focus for the education that we've been given is let's give them the very best that we have.